Good morning, Americans. This is your favorite alien and Boo Moose Baba here on the morning of Saturday, July 4th, 2020. Your last Independence Day. Enjoy today because you won't see another one after today. And the reason why is as follows. Number one, 244 years ago, Thomas Jefferson, and boy, he must have had fun writing the Declaration of Independence because he had four missteps. I think this was the fifth draft when he finally got it and put it out there. But can you imagine him? And he didn't have a typewriter, poor guy, or a computer. So imagine after reading all that and going, ugh, what a kind of paper mess he had in his house. But anyway, he made the first mistakes of your country when he said, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal." He didn't say women, or he, she, he's, and what's its, and whatever. All men are created equal, and they are not. That the Creator endowed every one of you, and this time he included women, and I think by including women, he meant he, she, he's, and what's its too, that all the Creator endowed everybody with certain inalienable rights, which the Creator would never do. So that's two mistakes in there. Then you created your country and you formed a false premise where you said, you can come here and live your lives as you see fit, to worship as you see fit. Really? The land of the free? Is there anybody free in the United States? Really? Today? I want to talk to them. I don't see anybody that's free. I'm locked down here. I'm not free. When I came to the United States, I wasn't free. I had to talk to the FBI in order to get checked in to get in here. And for the first couple of years, I had to report to the INS, which was the predecessor to the ICE, as you call it today. Yeah? So that's not being free. Every January, you had to figure out what you did that year and who you talked to and what, and send a report in. They don't do that anymore, but hey. But you brought every Tom, Dick, and Harry in here. And you told them, you can live your life as you see fit, not to adapt yourself to your culture. So your culture got distorted. And factions developed. And enclaves developed. See what I mean? In 1619, you brought African Americans here. And that developed a schism that's grown over the centuries. And today, they want their piece of the pie, and they got it to some extent. If you look at cities like Detroit, Atlanta, Philadelphia, Oakland, any city that African Americans control, have become a disaster. Why? Because African Americans, you never bothered to teach them how to be human beings. You bothered to teach them how to be corrupt. And they learned that because they were corrupt in their home countries. Africa is the most corrupt continent there is. Outside of Asia. Asia is corrupt too. And Latin America comes in a close third. So you see what I mean? Europeans, you have done a disservice to the planet. But now you're paying the piper here in the United States. This is your last 4th of July. Because you're disintegrating fast. And nobody knows how to fix it. You got pigmentation issues. You have factions. You have enclaves. Heck, you got Albanian enclaves, Latin enclaves, and then with their gangs, Chinese enclaves, Korean enclaves. They call themselves Chinatown and Koreatown. But then you got their usual bad people like the Tongs and the Triads in the Chinese area, the two most notables. The Italians with all their little gangs, the blacks with all their little gangs, the Albanians with their rough gangs, and the Russians. All these people that you admitted to the United States, and they never bothered to figure out what an American was. The more you admit, the less the American values are there. You see what I mean? So what are you going to do about this, Americans, on this day of 4th of July, your last Independence Day? You don't have no freedom. You don't have no democracy. You got anarchy. You got the African Americans trying to intimidate their way and have their way. And it's going to cost them dearly when you disintegrate, because they're going to have Jim Crow laws in some states that are going to make them millions lose their lives. That's something the African Americans never realized. How to help their descendants. They've never looked at that way. They should. And you European people, you have run your course. You got to develop the union that makes everybody with guarantees. They're not equal, but at least they have a guarantee to have a say. You don't have that. Money has a say. That's all that you have in this country. Money says a lot. But people don't have a say. So what do you say, Americans? Are you going to change, or are you going to go down and be a footnote in history? This is your favorite alien. And Boo Moose Bubba. And like I said before, your last resort is the John Kasich, Tulsi Gabbard Restore the Union ticket. Good day.